अहिलेको अब हामीले चाइनासँगको रिलेसन कुरा गर्ने बेलामा पहिला अलिकति चाइनाको हिस्ट्रीबाट सुरु गरौँ. दिस थिङ अबाउट वी अग्री टु फलो वान चाइना पोलिसी. पहिला टिबेट र चाइनाको कस्तो थियो डाइनामिक्स, के थियो त्यतिखेर, कसरी टिबेट बिकेम अ पार्ट अफ चाइना और हामीहरूको त अर्ली इन्टरेक्सन भनेपछि टिबेटको कुराहरू आउँछ. पहिला बिफोर अल अफ दिस चाइना र टिबेटको डाइनामिक्स चाहिँ कसरी सुरु हुन्छ?
द्याट्स actually it's a very complex question, right? So you see, in the 7th century, the Tibetan Empire भनेर एउटा आयो जुन हामीले भन्छ नि Songtsen Gampo, who married Bhrikuti. Right? So Bhrikuti actually had Songtsen Gampo, had 2 wives. We Nepalis know about Bhrikuti, but there was a Chinese wife as well, who was a Tang dynasty ko princess. होइन? And even today, Lhasama, there is a pillar of peace, okay, where basically the Tibetans invaded China, and basically that's how the princess came over. The 2 princesses are supposed to have brought Buddhism to Tibet. The famous Jokhang temple in Lhasa is supposed to have been founded by Bhrikuti, who Jokhang ma bhako Buddha ko statue चाहिँ Bhrikutile काठमाडौँबाट लिएर गएको भनेर धारणा छ. Okay? That's how and it's supposed to, the Buddha statue over there is supposed to have been made in the likeness of Siddhartha Buddha, of Shakyamuni himself. Okay? So that's the closest basically. Over the years, as Tibet became this religious sort of empire, or religious, let's say, territory, where religion mattered a lot, where religion played essentially a big part in the political setup of the game. China also started undergoing its own churns. There was basically multiple dynasties. Tang पछि they were, let's say, they were warring kingdoms.
So China ko territory त्यतिखेर कस्तो, like because we're talking about 7th century मा आएर अहिले हैन. So around त्यो time तपाईको कुरा सुने अनुसार Tibet was much powerful.
Yeah, that's
China को चाहिँ territory कस्तो छ, चाइनामा कसरी operate भइराको छ, multiple state कस्तो गरी operate भइराको
थियो. So the Tang dynasty was obviously evidently a strong empire, So you have basically instances of basically उनीहरुको territories, let's say, going all the अहिलेको, let's say, eastern sea coast भनौं न हैन, China को extending further west and all that. तपाईको from what I know, and I'm not an expert in Chinese history, तर from what I know that large chunks of what is today known as, let's say, the eastern sea coast, pushing further west, let's say, Tibet, it's easier to define Tibet because of the Tibetan identity. Tibet was always known as, there are 3 regions, which is like Amdo, Kham, Ani, Wechang. Wechang is basically central Tibet, which is like Lhasa, Shigatse, Amro, Taklakot, all of these areas, Kailash. Amdo is what is today modern Chingai. त्यो एरियामा हुन्थ्यो. अनि खाम इज वेयर टुडे मोडर्न सिचुआन प्रोभिन्सहरू हुन्थ्यो. सो यिनीहरूको त्यो देयर वाज अलवेज अ कम्बिनेसन के, त्यो वाज सो अप एन्ड डाउन्स त्यो भइरहेको हुन्थ्यो हैन. सो टिबेट र चाइनाको इन्टरेक्सन चाहिँ इट स्टार्ट्स बिकमिङ, लेट्स से, एक्सटेन्सिभली क्लोज once Kublai Khan comes in, once the Mongols come in, हैन. Mongols are devout, let's say, Buddhists, हैन. Tibetमा त्यो बेलामा फाक्सपा भन्ने, there used to be a king / big Tibetan priest भनौं न हैन. And he's the Fakspa is the guy who's said to have asked for Ornico from Nepal,
okay.
To ask that, okay, हामीलाई एउटा के भन्छ आर्टिसन / स्कल्पचर एकजना चाहिरहेछ, नेपालबाट एकजना पठाइदियो भने चाहिँ अर्नीको चाहिँ he volunteered and he left, हैन. He went. पहिला लासामा गएर he repaired one statue that was supposed to be unrepairable. Seeing that, the Fakspa decided यो मान्छेको ट्यालेन्ट त we have to show it to Kublai Khan. So Kublai Khan को कोर्टमा त्यसरी पुग्यो, हैन. So that is about the 13th century. So you can see this interaction happening on a extensive basis. Then the Mongols become really, let's say, Tibetमा चाहिँ Gelugpa sect, which is the Dalai Lama sect, हैन. It becomes much stronger. It's like, understand it as a political party of today, हैन. It becomes more dominant in terms of, let's say, politics. It becomes more dominant in terms of religious, let's say, like principles, precepts. Ani Dalai Lama र Mongols become very close. The Mongols start regarding the Dalai Lama as, Dalai is actually a Mongol word.
Okay.
हैन. So त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ सुरु हुन्छ के, where the Dalai Lama is regarded as the ruler of Tibet. Okay? Meanwhile, the Chinese are under the Mings. They also have extensive, let's say, relations. It's when the Qing dynasty comes in about the 17th century, early 17th century. Qing dynasty आउने बेलामा चाहिँ the Qing are again, they are actually Manchus. Manchus चाहिँ तपाईको north east China को अहिलेको एरिया हो हैन. It's no longer पहिला Manchuria भन्थ्यो. अहिले चाहिँ it's not there. The north east China हो के अहिलेको. त्यहाँबाट they overthrew the Mings and they had their own dynasty, the Qing. Qing are again very close with the Tibetans. 18th century मा आएर चाहिँ this priest patron relationship भन्छ के. Priest patron relationship is essentially the priest is the Dalai Lama, Tibetan Buddhism. The patrons are the Chinese rulers. Okay? So it's that sort of a relationship where Tibet's governance, Tibet, let's say, internal affairs, how they collect taxes, how they, let's say, manage every day-to-day affairs, that is mostly left to themselves. But when an external aggression or external threat appears, of the state is early 18th century, Zungar, a Mongol horde comes in, and the Qing have to come in with their forces to defeat the Zungars. 1788 actually, Nepal first invaded Tibet. Tibet loses. We demand, let's say, tribute from them. They pay it for 2 years, then they refuse to pay it. Then we invade them again. So then the Qing forces again come in. And that's when the Qing forces, गोर्खाहरूलाई चाहिँ बेत्रावती जुन भन्छ नि अहिले जुन चाहिँ आज चाहिँ तपाईको नुवाकोट भन्दा अलिकति अगाडि छ बेत्रावतीसम्म चाहिँ त्यहाँ चाहिँ फाइनल स्ट्यान्ड अफ जस्तो भएको हो के वेयर Qing forces तपाईको it's estimated around 10-15,000 थियो होला हैन all the way from eastern China core China which is the court त्यहाँबाट they came all the way to Raswa crossed over Betrautiमा आएर that's where the last stand was done. So you can see that relationship happening over the years, priest patron relationship. So as long as the Qing were in power, for the last, let's say, the Qing dynasty went off in 1911. 1911 3 centuries jati they ruled China. Your 3 centuries that priest patron relationship got codified.
So basically Tibet and China they were on the similar page त्यतिखेर.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, right? त्यो बेलामा जुन अहिलेको कन्सेप्ट अफ मोडर्न नेसन स्टेट छ नि त्यो थिएन नि त सो द आइडिया अफ अ स्टेट वाज अ भेरी भेरी लुज सort of a category.
Okay.
So let's say कि अब ब्रिटिश इन्डिया र नेपालको झगडा किन भएको हैन ब्रिटिश इन्डिया र नेपालको झगडा सिम्पल कारण के हो भने चाहिँ द नेपालीज had a different idea of what borders meant. The British had a different idea. British thought कि एउटा लाइन हुन्छ कि border. It's like जुन अहिलेको मोडर्न बोर्डर छ नि यो लाइन यता मेरो हो यता उता त्यता हो हैन नेपालीजहरूले चाहिँ कसरी सोच्थ्यो भने चाहिँ तपाईँ लेट्स से एकजना राजा हैन लेट्स से पाल्पाको राजालाई मैले हराएँ पाल्पाको राजाले चाहिँ जहाँ जहाँबाट कर उठाउनु हुन्थ्यो नि wherever he was raising taxes from wherever he was getting tribute grains जे भने पनि हैन त्यो सबै एरिया चाहिँ नेपालको हो सो नेपालको अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ चाहिँ त्यसरी थियो के So that's how states in our part of the world earlier thought. Okay? You could have multiple centers of power, as long as basically तपाईको tax collection एकजनालाई भए पनि त्यो मान्छेले पनि अर्कोलाई पनि tax पनि बुझाउन त्यस्तो देखिन्थ्यो के So you have multiple levels of let's say payments. You have multiple levels of let's say sovereignty, multiple levels blurred sovereignty भने पनि हुन्छ. And it's something very familiar to us also because that's how let's say हामीले चाहिँ गरिराख्ने भनौँ न हाम्रो नेपालमा चाहिँ त्यसरी नै भइरहेको थियो सो कमिङ ब्याक टु चाइना र टिबेटमा चाहिँ त्यसरी नै बुझौँ न हैन सो आई वन्ट कन्सिडर इट द्याट whether it was let's say Tibet was a part of China or like where China and Tibet were together on the same thing I would instead look at it as a historical process where this interaction यो दुईजना ठुलो स्टेट्सहरुको each with its own ideas about governance, each with its own ideas about populations, कसरी manage गर्ने त्यो सब external affairs. All of those are coming together in a priest-patron relationship.
So भनौँ 19th सेन्चुरीसम्म चाहिँ त्यो स्पेसिफिक बोर्डर्स भने दुईजनाकोमा त्यसरी थिएन दे वर लाइक दुवैजना सिमिलर एरियाको हो अनि त्यसपछि सिन्स दलाई लामा यहाँ छ अनि त्यसपछि मिङ डाइनेस्टी चिङ डाइनेस्टीले चाहिँ उसलाई अब रेस्पेक्ट गर्ने हिसाबले भएकोले चाहिँ सिमिलर वेमै अपरेट गर्छ।
अनि एउटा अर्को के छ भने चाहिँ चिङहरूले आफ्टर द त्यो बेलामा चाहिँ चिङहरूले लासामा दुईवटा अम्बन भनेर राख्थ्यो क्या हु दे रिप्रेजेन्टेटिभ्स एम्बेसडर भने पनि हुन्छ अथवा रेजिडेन्ट भने पनि हुन्छ होइन। दे युज टु बेसिकली कन्ट्रोल अर दे युज टु लेट्स से इन्फ्लुएन्स foreign/political decisions टिबेटको।
सो यो डाइनामिक्स पनि जसरी तपाईँले अघि भन्नुभयो 12-13 सेन्चुरीसम्म कुब्लाई खानको बेलासम्म चाहिँ टिबेट वाज मच पावरफुल चाइना कम्पेयर टु चाइना त्यतिखेर
होइन 12th सेन्चुरीसम्म चाहिँ आई थिङ्क चाइना had become त्यो द मंगोल्स had come नि होइन जेङ्गिस खान कुब्लाई खान आई थिङ्क वाज अ ग्रान्डसन इफ आई रिमेम्बर करेक्टली होइन कुब्लाई खान वाज आई थिङ्क अ ग्रान्डसन
12th सेन्चुरी भनेर जेङ्गिस खान चाहिँ 12th सेन्चुरीमा भयो
त्यही त। सो कुब्लाई आई थिङ्क कम्स इन अबाउट द 13th सेन्चुरी होइन। सो त्यसरी चाहिँ यु क्यान सी द्याट डाइनामिक प्लेइङ ओभर देयर के। सो हिस्टोरिकली हेर्ने हो भने चाहिँ हाम्रो अहिले टिबेट हेज बिन अ पार्ट अफ चाइना अफिसियली होइन इन टर्म्स अफ मोडर्न स्टेट पोस्ट 1950 हो क्या। के भयो भने चाहिँ चिङ डाइनेस्टी गट ओभरथ्रोन अराउन्ड 1911-1912 होइन आई थिङ्क 1912 नै हो। अनि 1913मा टिबेट डिक्लेयर्स इन्डिपेन्डेन्स। टिबेट सेज द्याट ओके we don't want to do anything with China anymore, right? We have declared our independence.